Okay, welcome back. Cleared off the data log and quickly threw on some magic and guards to the other things. I'm going to carry on with the story now, and we enter into day 1.
By using the warp device, I can teleport you back down to the surface.
I'm worried about Snow. I should go to his palace.
You could, but I suggest you visit another city instead.
You want me to abandon Snow?
Down on the surface, time is stopped for everyone. The palace will still be on high alert. It will be next to impossible to get anywhere close to Snow.
You're saying I should let things cool down first.
Yes,
I'm going to send you to Luxerion. It's the capital of the world. Or, what's left of it anyway. I'll place you inside an inbound train. When the train stops at the station, you can get off with the other passengers. Something has happened in front of the station.
All right. Do it.
You're surprisingly calm for someone who's about to venture into unknown territory. But you were always brave.
Brave? I don't feel brave. I don't feel anything. No worry, no confusion, no fear.
That's good. But you still need to stay safe.
Oh, don't worry, I'll be safe. For the most part, it's up to... Actually, it was snow. I'm not gonna lie, it was actually snow that stopped me from progressing on with the live play and stressed me out enough to actually come back and start recording back over everything. And it'll be probably why I restart the live play again, because I'm in a bad position with that one. Here we are.
The Xiii train is now arriving. Luxerion Main Station.
And of course you can customize yourself. You'll get whatever you're using, you'll get off the train looking awesome. Because that is what it's all about. The better you look, the more you win. I lose a lot.
Luxerion, a bustling metropolis. The divine city of light in the holy sea of salvation. It's the last bastion of peace and order in a dying world. Most of the people who live here worship the almighty Benevelza. The city is governed in his name by a powerful religious sect known as the Order of Salvation. God's followers believe in ultimate redemption, and their faith helps keep the fires of hope burning. But even in this pious city, a darkness lurks untouched by divine light. A heresy that rejects the teachings of Supreme Benevelza.
It's another girl.
How awful.
I bet it's the Heretics doing.
The divine city doesn't look so holy now.
This was no accident. The girl was left here intentionally. Light! Help her!
There's no need. Just a dummy. Hope, did you see who dropped it? They must still be close.
My sensors didn't pick up anything at all. I'm running a search of the city's video database, but I'm coming up blank so far.
Doesn't matter. I'll just find out myself. Luxerion. The Divine City of Light. Is that what they call it? Trouble is, the brightest lights cast the darkest shadows.
Words of wisdom. Always pause for thought. Aha! Now we know that guy. It's a familiar arm. I recognise the arm. And this is the main quest.
It looks like someone's targeting the Savior.
We need to solve this case quickly. Luxerion is the city of divine light, yet it has seen the murder of 3 girls in 3 days. The people seem to be growing fearful. If you find out anything at all, I'd be anxious to hear it. There are similarities among the victims. They have all been young women, and all of them had rose-colored hair. Yes, just the same shade as yours. You may also become a target of the killers. I urge you to be careful.
Don't worry about me. I'm too awesome. Right, so the main quest.
The horror continues.
Pretty much just run around, talk to everyone you can in the area. It's an easy start to the game.
Of the Order clergy. She'd been a rising star, destined to become the next High Priestess. But then she retired suddenly for reasons of health, or so it was said. And then this.
Yeah, the game will give you 3 different types of quest. The main one,
This is my
which is what
favourite
we're getting
spot.
on with.
Hang out here long enough and you get to see all kinds of things. Like those white-garbed loonies, for example. The children of Etro are heretics and they don't believe in the Order's teachings. Those Etro fanatics used to keep a low profile, but recently I see them everywhere. The Order's authority isn't what it was. Now those people wander the streets like they own the place. Do you think they know something we don't? Maybe they have a date for the end of the world, who knows?
Yeah, we've got a date for the end of the world.
The
Maybe
Savior's
not you,
mission is to rescue
you're
the souls of
forever
people trapped in prisons of pain and suffering. By forming a bond with them, you can lead their...
The same people who killed the girl brought that dummy here. It's important evidence. Don't touch it. The victim had rose-colored hair, and the wig on that dummy was of the same color.
I'm not that
The
weird.
killers appear to believe that the evil savior will take the form of a young woman with rose-colored hair. Everything points to this being the work of those heretics, children of Etro. But why are they so sure what the savior will look like?
More valuable information.
That was a valuable witness statement. I'm pretty sure the Inquisitor can use the information.
Right, let's keep on with this main quest.
The Inquisitor will definitely be very interested in this information.
Yes, he will.
Why not talk to a few more people?
Yes,
The
that's
evil
you.
savior will die at the hands of the Shadow Hunter. It's certainly an arresting statement. I'd heard of the Shadow Hunter once before, from a guest that was staying here at the hotel. The same guest told me he's the head of that band of fanatics. But I don't know who he really is, or was. At any rate, it's hardly surprising that people think those Etro fanatics are behind this recent string of murders. But is this man they call the Shadow Hunter the one pulling their strings?
Ooh, is it? Is it?
The
Curiosity.
Inquisitor will definitely be...
Good heavens. This has become quite the predicament. Those messages say that the Shadow Hunter will kill the Savior. Sounds pretty, I don't know, prophetic, right? If you believe what you hear around town, it seems that the children of Etro have an Oracle Drive. That's a rare thing. They say Oracle Drives are mysterious devices that can let you see the very future. The Heretics' prophecy. I can't even imagine what it must show. But apparently it's enough to drive them to murder.
They probably saw the last bacon.
That's vital information.
It can't be. Damn it, it's not like him to be late. But what if... No, couldn't be that.
Something wrong? Not about those murders, is it?
God, no. Well, at least I hope not. You see, it's the end of my shift, and I'm waiting for my replacement, but he hasn't shown. He's been late before, but never as bad as this.
You're starting to worry, right?
He likes to make out he's a tough guy, but he isn't at all, frankly. His name's Holmes. If you run into him, do me a favor, will you? Tell him Thornton's worried and needs to go home.
Right.
All right.
Although this
If I
is a
see anyone in
sub-quest, it
uniform
is
wandering around where they're
required
not supposed to be, I'll talk to
for the
them.
main story to progress. We'll skip through that pretty quick, Gotta find the dude that's over here. That was easy.
You work at the station, don't you? Your fellow attendants worried about you.
Oh no, is it time for my shift already? I completely lost track of time. Look, can I trust you? I saw who did it. You know, the people who threw the dummy off the clock tower? I got scared, so I've been laying low. I can't go to the station. That's where they'll look for me.
You were there? What did you see exactly? You have to tell me.
I don't have to do anything. But if you can protect me from those people and get me to the station, I'll tell you all about it. Get me to the station, and then I'll talk.
Now we can take a little stroll this way. Not sure if you get scared if you go too far, so we're just gonna take it nice and easy. Do kind of need it to progress the main story on, but sub-quests I'll try and leave when it's not possible to push story up. There we go.
The Order operates the regional transportation system. It's the same.
Holmes, you're safe. I was so worried about you, I could barely concentrate on my duties.
Sorry, boss. I saw what happened over where they found the girl. I guess I just panicked. I don't know why I got so scared. I'm sorry I let you down. It won't happen again.
Never mind, I'm just glad to see you're safe. Guess I never told you. Well, years ago, one of my colleagues was killed by a monster. I was afraid the same thing had happened to you. I panicked and asked this lady for help.
Lightning is so
No one
not
told me that when I
interested.
took this job. But anyway, sorry for the trouble, boss. From now on, I swear to you, I'm never going to be late. I mean, what if your
She was
heart gave
polite
out or
enough
something
not
with
to
worry?
interrupt.
Can't have that on my conscience.
A true friend that cares. Maybe that's enough to save a soul.
Okay, and completing these quests is your little kind of level ups, where you get your stat increases from.
Well,
So-
a deal's a deal. You got me here safe and sound, and so I'm going to
Doing
tell
these
you
little
exactly
quests.
what I saw.
Very important to get
It was
stronger.
the children of Etro. They tossed the dummy off the tower.
Sure.
I really wanted to tell the Inquisitors what I saw. Honestly, I did. But I was afraid those heretics might find out and make me their next victim.
Wrong colour hair.
The Inquisitor will definitely be very interested in this information.
Yes, he
When I
will.
talk to a few more people.
A few more people. There's one more person to go and find. And if you can't find him, he's over here. He likes to run away.
Wait a minute. I don't know anything about the Shadow Hunter, I swear to God.
I didn't mention any Shadow Hunter, but thanks for the tip. Who is he?
Don't tell me you don't know about the Shadow Hunter. Lord of Luxerion's Shadow World, hero to the little folk, king of the Warren. Although it's not like I've actually met him myself. Yeah, sure, so I told everyone the Hunter and I are close, but come on, it was just talk. I never thought anything like this would happen. Damn it, I know I shouldn't have been bragging about how me and the Shadow Hunter were best pals. What if the Elders believed I'm in tight with a savior-murdering nutjob? I saw you coming and I got scared. I figured you were with them, you know, the Inquisitors.
Okay.
So the culprits are the children of Etro? But what's their objective? What could
No
they be
time for
after?
a phone call.
If you know anything about the case, I'd be glad to hear it.
The goddess's disciples are beginning to gather. If you lift the blockades around this area, there's a good chance they'll start to move out.
You're suggesting I let them go? It's not a bad idea. Yes, I'll give the order and we'll see where the heretics lead us. We've managed to find some eyewitnesses, and we think we know who it was that strung the dummy from the tower.
Let me guess. The children of Etro, right?
Ah, you have your own sources, I see. In recent weeks, the heretics have become more visible on the streets of our holy city. The poor, benighted fools don't believe in God's salvation. Clearly, their despair has led them to carry out these wanton acts. If only they would open their eyes, embrace God, and they could bathe in the pure light of His almighty grace. Can't they see that their souls would be liberated in the new world? The irony of it all is that their fanatical rejection of the Savior has only made my own faith that much stronger. Although perhaps that is the work of the Savior herself.
If you think your faith will save you, then go ahead. Believe all you want.
Hello, random villa. Blocking my shots. Thank you very much. Right. There's a few more stats for us. And the gates are now open. And we've got the chronostatus ability. This is the one that I spam like anything when I'm trying to do side quests and stuff.
Lightning.
Right.
The Savior can use God's own holy power. With it, you can even manipulate the flow of time.
Other type of quest, apart from main story and side quests,
Hi, I sense you
come
want to
from a
talk about
familiar
something.
face.
Ask away. Is it about this message board or something more important, like my beauty regimen?
I want to talk to you. I think that you have it backwards.
Oh, don't be such a silly Sahagin. Everyone wants to talk to me, especially since I've been put in charge of this.
The message board?
It's not just an ordinary message board. It's called the Canvas of Prayers, and it's magical. An ancient spell has been cast on it, and now it can show people's hopes and dreams. For example, you know how people wish on stars, or by throwing coins into a fountain? I know you've done it too, even though you'd never admit it. This board collects prayers from all over the world, from all sorts of people, and makes them appear as words.
You mean anyone can come here and read them?
Just you. It's written in a mythical language. To anyone other than yourself, it looks like a jumble of nonsense.
Yep. Still want to know if they're just gloves or does she actually have wings on her arms?
Now don't just take my word for it. Why don't you take a look? See if you can't read everyone's humble little wishes.
Right, these are the little things. Mostly, from what I've seen, these are just component quests. Kill enough of what drops things and you'll be able to fill these quests in. You can keep an eye out. Some of these things are not easily spawned, others you get in abundance. But mostly it is just kill X amount of creatures and get their drops.
Chronostasis. It has limits, but you can slow time.
What else have we got to
it's
look
just
around?
One of the miracles brought about
We've
by
got the
God.
outfits.
Welcome in.
If you didn't have any DLC or anything, come over here and you'll be able to pick up Nocturne. That's a good one. It's got attack. It's a very good attacking one. And Providence comes with a guard, but you'll want to give it an attacking thing. Do we want to buy all this stuff? No, we do not. I want to make sure you save 2,000 gil. It's important for a quest coming up.
You cannot use it again and again.
Adventuring Essentials whenever you find them. These give you monster notes. Check from Okay, get it? Do you really need a tutorial on this? No, we don't. This is buying detailed descriptions of various enemies in the area, so that it saves you from having to try and figure things too much out. It doesn't tell you all the information you need, but it'll give you enough information to get by. Now, until midnight,
Light, I'm detecting monsters.
all we can pretty much do is run
area.
around.
Light, you can escape from battle when you're truly desperate, but it comes with a price.
We're going to
All
go.
miracles do.
Now these doors, once you touch them,
Price? What kind of
will
price?
appear on the map.
Your time.
So if you go around and
that of
just
this
touch them
world,
all,
the more
they'll appear on the map, and when they're actually available for you to
In
actually
short,
walk through,
you'll give up about an
they'll be
hour of
green
your
and you can walk
precious
through
13
them.
days.
If they're not available to walk through, it'll tell you the time that you can walk through them. We'll look up here, so don't bother coming down here. This is a waste of time. Don't come down here. Hello, monster. Shall we fight this? Let's fight random monster. Hit the thingy. Now these things, apparently...
Thanks for waiting.
There, here we'll go with cloud finish. There we go. For those that wanted to see the cloud finish, I'll do the Una one if I can find another creature around to kill. So I'm going to go up here just to prove it. Oh, and to also open up and finish this off. Right, now this has a special staggering ability. And his physical damage attacks, the effect is greater when the enemy is using Glutton. When you get things like that, when they say greater, they really do mean greater. In this case, it's pretty much an instant stagger. If you want to just hang around and wait for it. Wait for it, please. Alright, so it's coming over. The Una finish. I will quickly go in and swap out for the Tomb Raider one and the Guardian Corpse one. Oh no, I can't do the Guardian Corpse one because it doesn't have anything on it. Bring out the Art of War one. I'm not going to swap around skills and everything. I'm just going to go and use them if I can find a fight. Oh yeah, I was just proving to a point. This is actually a dead end. Don't bother coming up here.
I'm glad you want to hone your skills, but don't forget the task at hand.
That dude has nothing to say, don't worry about it. And we got a treasure sphere over here. I'm so glad you can't see my face for that. But the one that we really want is this one. You can use R1 to break through barrels. And open this up for the Spark Strike. Now that we have Spark Strike, gonna bring out Knight of Etro. Spark Strike. And we're going to pull that over. Wait a minute, I want to pull these abilities off of them. Where is it? There we go. And in fact I'm going to customize it as well, because I like black. I'll do that. Is that going okay? Yeah, we'll do that. I think the other one I did, I had more gold on, but... Right, okay. Introduction to a little bit of shopping.
Blessed be, friend.
The synthesis, this is where you upgrade all your magics and stuff. I would suggest doing this tutorial. It's very short, but you will get an extra thing at the end of it. Basically, you can just tap away X, tap away on X, come down, select attack, select N, and that's how you upgrade your abilities, by combining it with other abilities. There we go. These guard abilities and status abilities, they automatically come maxed out. You can't really increase them. Performance ability, yeah, there we go. And that's push my blizzard up a little bit more. Generally I focus everything onto one until it can't be have its power increased anymore, and then I'll start on another one. So for now, that is how you upgrade things, and I've dropped down in gil. I need a little bit more gil.
Why don't you take a look
at Forge? Step right up. Forges is where you get your weapons and shields. These shields are the ones I actually probably like the most, because they come with the most health and they have decent defense. These ones have, I think, more health. Yeah, these ones have more health, but they have a severe reduction on your ATB speed, which I don't like. So I do like those shields. They seem like the middle ground to me. That dude behind me with his guitar. hippie. Just going to run around the corner here. Now on the other side of this door, you want to make a note for future reference, is a treasure chest you'll want to come back and get. But that gate doesn't open until after midnight, so it'll probably be in the next video when I go and show you what's in that one. Now we've got half an hour of time before we need to be back in this main square.
Can you keep up?
No idea what that is. What the hell does that do? I have not used that before. Alright, let's just show you if that's actually not bad. Yeah, that is. That looks well angry. Alright, so the Tomb Raider one. Gonna have to figure out how to show you that one. Because that, what the hell is with this skill? Lightning attacks in the direction of is pushed. Extend stagger time. Right, okay, so you've actually got to push the direction that it goes in. Let's see if I can get the fanfare for that one. So in fact, what we're going to do is we're going to run up here. This is where you want to come before midnight. Come up here, nice and out of the way. And this is the point where we sit and wait. Okay, there we go, midnight.
Look around for any suspicious groups. Anyone that catches your eye. You need to follow the Heretics.
Would it be the people that just spawned?
Public Morals Office of the Order of Salvation. It is now midnight. Please pray. Let us thank God, who in his wisdom will build us a new world.
So now I was down there the first time, and they saw me, so I decided to just beat them all up. And then I didn't know what to do. So I ended up wasting a lot more time. Aren't you glad I found this stuff out first? By actually playing it before I decided to come back.
The evil savior will die at the hands of the Shadow Hunter? I sure don't like the sound of that. When they say savior, do you think...
It's me, alright. It has to be.
Line of sight.
I don't know. Right now, no one else does either. The information's incomplete at best. But the Order thinks he could be the leader of the Heretics.
Okay, so
if the Shadow Hunter leads the cult, does that mean he's also behind the murders?
I could stop the time, but...
The Heretics are on the move. You need to follow them discreetly and figure out where they're headed.
Go on. Go on. Right, okay, they've gone around the corner that way. Da-da-da. They've gone up the steps. We've already looked at the map and stuff. Oh, and if you're looking at the mini-map, you see they all just legged it. Okay. You're gone. You're gone. Running off around the corner. Running off around the corner. That was close.
See what they're up to. Do you see?
Alright, here we go.
Show that you are one of us.
In the forest of darkness, chaos holds sway. To the goddess of death, these numbers I say, 7891.
The rites are beginning. Make haste.
See that? I think I just found my invitation to the party.
Yeah, so when the phone rings, you have to give them a 4-digit code. Simple, if you have the numbers.
Right. Simple. So any bright ideas about how to do that? I mean, considering you're doling out advice.
Head back to town and see what you can uncover.
The number code. Now this one's cost me a lot of time because I didn't know a few facts. A couple of facts to know. Gates open at midnight around here, so there's a lot more that we can do that has now become available. Also,
the heretical cult, the so-called Children of Etro,
the quests
are behind
that's
the
come in.
murders. They become increasingly visible in the city. Judging by the tone of their message, they view the Savior as their enemy.
Yes, of course they do.
What I don't
Everyone sees
understand
me
is
as
why
the
they would
enemy.
target you.
One thing to know
You're here to save
is
souls and guide them
that
to a
you
new
cannot
world.
continue this quest
Why wouldn't they
until
want that?
midnight of the
It's not
second
that clear
day.
cut.
So don't
Just
waste your time
God's
with
savior
it now.
looks as much
No,
might
let's
as well.
not. We're going
There's
to.
not much time left. I won't waste it.
Yes, your
We're
time
going
is the
to
most
get
precious
our
thing you
attack
have.
back. Alright.
How you use these few
We'll finish the video with. Alright, so that's how that works. And she just looks tired and dirty. But for now, that's the
It looks like the
shown.
monorail is up
And
and running.
whoops.
If you hop aboard, you can quickly get anywhere in this world.
Before we go
And there's
moving
another
on,
station on the south
we're
side of
going to start
Luxerion.
side quests and stuff. Before hope to shut up, seriously. And we'll get on with side quests in the next video.